Food Prep 101. I don't know how to record this so you see my old face and everything that I'm cooking at the same time. So I've got some tomatoes here, some basil, and I'm just gonna make a tomato basil salad and then put it into pre-portioned containers for the week. So I take my tomato and I'm not very good at cutting. I just kind of do whatever. But I'm gonna cut it into, like dice it, I guess, I don't know. Little dicey things. Then I'm gonna cut all that tomato, then I'm gonna take my basil, do the same thing with the basil. Okay, so I have all my tomato that I cut up. This is 3 tomatoes from my CSA. That's what made me decide I wanted to do this, is my CSA gave me a bunch of tomatoes. So what the heck am I gonna do with them? I have a bunch of basil because I have a garden that just keeps growing it. So that's how I decided to do this. Cut up the basil too, so I washed it already. I just picked a bunch from the garden, cutting it up. So I have my basil and my tomato all cut up, literally just mix them together. And then I have Himalayan pink salt. Just gonna put a very little bit of this in. We got a little hand there. Putting that pink salt in, so just, I don't know, it would have been a pinch if my hands weren't wet, so just maybe 1/4 teaspoon, some ground pepper. And then what I'm going to do with this, shake it up. Got my green container. Take scoops of it out. There we go. I got a serving. So that's either going to be eaten as a salad, or I can put it in eggs or put it over pasta, whatever the heck I want to do with it. But it's already a serving. I know what it is, and I'm going to put it in my fridge for the week. 3 tomatoes and a bunch of basil. I got 3 containers of these, so that's going to be something I can easily grab and go over the course of the week. All right, so more prep. I'm doing these nectarines I got from my CSA. They're tiny, so I'm just going to prep them all up, put them in one container, measure them out as my purples as I go throughout the day. Again, I'm kind of rough with my chopping, but cut. Food is so much easier to eat when it's already prepared, and you're more likely to get healthy things if the healthy things are easier to get. So that's why cutting up fruit in advance is really important. All right, so it's all cut up, and as I get hungry over the course of the week, take my purple container, put it in a bowl, and you can see that's actually a ton of nectarine. So there you go. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to put it in 2 containers because it looks like this is 2 purple containers worth of nectarine. So I've got 2 snacks just to grab and go over the course of the week. So this is something that I do if I want to try to get rid of some stuff, or if I want a little extra protein my day. I'm making a cauliflower pizza crust. So this isn't food prep for the week, but it's going to probably make 2 or 3. So I guess it is a little bit of food prep for the week. I forgot to show you the food processing part, but I process the cauliflower, and then it looks like this. I microwave it for like 5 minutes. It gets really hot, and then the moisture starts to come out, and then I have this cheesecloth bag thing, and I'm going to put it in and squeeze all the liquid out, and then I'll show you how I'm going to make the crust in a minute. It is in the cheesecloth bag, and I'm just going to take it and I just like push on it for all the liquid to come out. What it looks like after you squeeze all the liquid out of it. I'm going to take 4 eggs and add them to it as well. Tarragon, thyme, oregano, and basil from my garden that I'm going to chop up, and then I'm going to mix to the dough that I made out of the cauliflower and with those 4 eggs. So I spread it out on, this is a giant pizza stone using a cupcake frosting thing. And mine's not perfectly circular, but you can make it as perfect as you want. And then we're gonna cook it on 400 for, I don't know, 10-15 minutes until it is brown. My toppings, I have half mozzarella, half Parmesan, blue container, red container full of ricotta cheese, sun-dried tomatoes that have some olive oil in them. So I count those as my teaspoons as a part of the 21-day fix. Here I've got onion and spinach in my green container, and this I actually made earlier with some tomatoes from my CSA and some basil from the garden. That's pretty much all it is, and I already know that that counts as a green container. I like my pizza super loaded, so I'm going to put these on my pizza, and my pizza already counts as a 2 or 3 green containers. I think 2 or like 2.5 green containers, and then it counts as 2 red containers. I'm probably gonna make a giant pizza and then eat half of it and then calculate whatever that is out of all of these. It's my cauliflower pizza crust. I just put the spatula underneath it just to separate it. I did spray the pan before I put it in the oven, but this will just make it easier to cut slices off once. Here it is. My giant pizza has been topped with all those wonderful toppings. I'm gonna cook it until it's brown and looks cooked. I'm not very exact, I just wait until stuff looks cooked and then I will eat it. Here is my amazing, delicious pizza. This is one of my favorite meals. The whole thing is giant and I'm not gonna be able to eat the whole thing. I'm gonna eat half of it, but if I was calculating what's in the whole thing, I put in 4 of the green containers from the 21-day fix, 1 of the blue containers, 1.5 of the red containers because I had the eggs in there, 4 eggs, and then I had the ricotta cheese. And I put the sun-dried tomatoes with 2 teaspoons of the olive oil from it. So I'm gonna divide that in half, count it as 2 greens per serving, 1.5 reds. I'm gonna count it as 1 teaspoon, and I'm gonna count it as half a blue because I put just 1 blue on the whole thing. So that's awesome because that means I get to have cheese on something else over the course of the day that I have this pizza. There we go. So this is one of our giant dinner plates. It's not the small one, it's the big one. So you can just get scale there. This is half the pizza, 2 pieces. There's no way I'm gonna be able to eat more than this. So starting by doing some of the key prep things for a few things that I'm gonna make. I'm gonna be making a quinoa salad. I'm gonna be making stuffed peppers. I'm gonna be making just random vegetables with some tempeh that I can add to it. So my random vegetables are gonna be added to the quinoa and stuffed in the peppers. I'm also going to take the tops of the peppers, cut those up, add them to the random vegetables. Then this quinoa salad that I have a recipe from that I found on Skinny Taste. Some of the quinoa that I cook is going to go into the quinoa salad. So it's a lot of the same ingredients that are all going to sort of just be added together. As I cut and slice and dice, I'm just going to start creating the different recipes and then pre-portion out. So I've got coconut oil and tempeh. I'm going to cut it up and cook it in this pan. Oil and tempeh, I'm gonna put it on the stove and just cook it up, and then I've got some protein that I can add to anything throughout the tempeh that I cooked up. I'm just gonna keep it all in this big container, and as I need it throughout the week, I've got some protein that I can scoop out in my red container and just add to whatever I want to add protein. Got that quinoa that I cooked. I'm gonna use it for a variety of different things. I'll show you as I'm using it how I count it and measure it. About these vegetables that we had left over from a veggie platter from this weekend, so I'm just going to cut those up as well. All the vegetables. I thought it'd be fun to put them in the color of the rainbow. I wish I had eggplant because that would make it purple, but I have everything else. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in a couple different saucepans, and I'm going to cook some of it just kind of plain to go in those peppers. And then I'm going to put some rice vinegar and sesame oil and Bragg's amino acids in the rest of it, and a little bit of sunflower butter. You could use peanut butter, but we've got allergies in the family. So I'm gonna add all that together and kind of make a Thai spicy peanut. We've got the jalapenos that I'm gonna put in it, Thai spicy peanut vegetable that I'm gonna add to the quinoa throughout the week. This is the stuff that I'm cooking up to put in the stuffed peppers. And this is what it looks like as it's cooking. It's all mixed in with the vegetables, and then now I'm going to add some quinoa. What I'm going to do is I've got 4 peppers that I know I'm stuffing. I want each of them to count as half of a yellow. So I'm going to take 2 yellows, scoop them in, and add them to this mixture. 1 yellow. That one was a little full. This one will be a little bit emptier. So that's 2 yellows. So this is going to be divided into 4 peppers, so each one's going to count as half a yellow. Lots of vegetables here, so I'm just going to count each of the servings as 1 vegetable plus the pepper, so that's 2 vegetables. I normally go way over on my vegetables. I don't really worry about counting them as long as I have them as a minimum, so I know if I'm having a time, I don't worry about measuring it. The filling, stuffing it in the 4 peppers, and then I'm going to cook them without cheese on them because what I want to be able to do is add cheese depending on the day if I feel like having the cheese or not, but I don't want to be stuck having it on the pepper, and it's easy to add when I'm warming the peppers up. Big peppers. You could totally put cheese on them. Normally I do a half a blue of cheese, but I never know day by day how much cheese I'm going to have, so I like to just put it on that day if I know that I've got the half blue that I want to use. Otherwise I just have them this way. You could also put meat in these. I normally have a veggie burger on the side because I don't do meat as a vegetarian, but you can put ground turkey, whatever you want to put in them. You can put chicken in them, I'm sure that'd be good too. And then you just adjust the containers appropriately. So maybe you do less vegetables and add a red or half a red of a ground meat and 2 peppers. They would look a little bit tastier if they had the cheese on them, but I don't like to put it on in advance. This is the sauce for my spicy Thai vegetable thing. That's your sunflower butter, and I have tablespoon of that. I've got 2 tablespoons of sesame oil, and then I squirted in some Bragg's liquid amino acids and some rice. Here are the amazing spicy Thai vegetables that I'm going to just put into a container, and then over the course of the week I can take this. I can take my quinoa that's cooked, so that's my my carb, I guess, if you will. This is my vegetable and some healthy oils in there. And then I can take my tempeh that I cooked with a little bit of coconut oil, so that's my protein and my healthy oils. And I can add any combination or proportion of them depending on my day and how much I want to be eating at that particular point. So I have them all separate. Sometimes I do, like if I was going to be traveling a lot during the week or going to work or, you know, whatever it is, I might pre-portion them. So maybe do a scoop of this with the green container, a scoop of the quinoa with the yellow container, and a scoop of the tempeh with the red container. But I'm just going to keep them separate for the sake of what my week looks like next week. Leftover quinoa, I decided to keep it separate so that over the course of the week, as I want to use it, I take my yellow container and I just scoop out as much as I want. So I'm probably going to most likely be adding it to my spicy Thai vegetable mixture. But again, depending on how my day's going, I want to have the option of measuring it out that day and not having to be stuck with that already pre-mixed. Ingredients for the zucchini casserole. Bisquick, a little bit of Bisquick goes in it, and the corn, zucchini, parsley, and onion, and then we're gonna grab some egg. The ingredients that go into that zucchini casserole that I love, another Skinny Taste recipe. I change it a little bit. I use the whole egg because I prefer to use the whole egg and get all of the benefits from it. But there's zucchini, squash. I add corn to the recipe that's not normally in it. Parsley, jalapeno, onion. It's supposed to be cheese in it. I find that you don't need the cheese, and again, you can always just add that after the fact if you want to add it to the top, but I don't think the cheese makes a difference in how it tastes. And then we're going to add some Bisquick, and I will talk about how I count it at the end of cooking. These are the 2 casseroles that zucchini casserole made. We're going to cook it in the oven at 375 till it looks brown and cooked through. And then what I do is I count, this is going to end up being 6 servings, so the big one I'm going to cut into 4 servings, the little one I'm going to cut in half. And I've been doing the fix for a while, so I count it as a green, half a red, and a yellow, and that's the beauty of the 21-day fix group that we run. So you wouldn't necessarily know how to count this, but we have a group of people who have been doing it for a while, so you would just post your recipe and we'd work together to figure out what it would count as and what the portion should be. Finished product. This is one of my absolute favorite recipes. When I say I cook it till it looks done, you can see it's a little brown on top, and then that's when you know it's done. It puffs up a little bit. Totally delicious. What I said was actually going to be a quinoa salad. It's actually a corn salad, so the extra quinoa that I made for this I'm just going to put aside for the week and use just with my vegetables and my proteins and just kind of add it throughout the week. This so far has tomatoes, avocado, jalapenos, corn, cilantro, and then over here there's a sauce that is going to go on. It's got lime, olive oil, salt, pepper, and red onion. So here's the finished product. It's nice and spicy. Again, taking that liberty, doing the fix for a while, I'm just going to say that an 1/8 of this counts as 1/2 of a blue, 1/4 of a yellow, and 1/2 of a green. So I have some extra bananas here. You can see they're starting to go bad. So what I'm going to do with these is just cut them up and freeze them so I can put them in smoothies, in the Yonana, in my Shakeology, whatever the heck I want to do with them. But I'm going to peel them and cut them and put them in the freezer so I don't have to throw them away. I hate throwing food away. Bananas all ready to go in the freezer for when I need them. They're going to be delicious later on in my Shakeology or in the Yonana ice cream maker or just in the ice cream maker or whatever the heck I want to use frozen bananas for. I love frozen bananas as much as I like regular bananas.